National University prides itself on its support of the military and veteran student community, which is no surprise given that it was founded by a veteran. Dedicated to helping these students achieve their dreams through higher education, NU has seen many of its alumni go on to impact their communities in meaningful ways. Students such as Ashley Tatum, a veteran, military spouse, and mother of two, whose desire to serve didn't end when she hung up her uniform.
I grew up in a small town called Findlay, Ohio, where usually the biggest achievement is graduating high school and then you go off to work, usually in factory. I've always been interested in learning, always. I have been reading since I was about 5, and as soon as I learned how to read, it was my favorite thing to do. So I think personal expectation, I've always set them very high for myself, for sure. My senior year of high school, I started looking at colleges, and I found one that I really wanted to go to. And then they came to our house for dinner and to kind of sit down and talk about financials, because I'd be the first person in my family to go to college. But then after the meeting, my mom told me that we couldn't afford college. I felt like all the wind had been taken out of my sails. This is something, I wanted something so big for myself, and I felt like that was the way to make it happen, with more education. 9/11 had just happened. So a lot of my friends were joining the military, and I went and talked to a recruiter. They come with a GI Bill, so I was going to be able to go to college and do what I had wanted to do all along. From the beginning, I just started soaking up everything that came my way and just learned so much about people that were different from me. I started growing my family. I got married and had my 2 children, and I really enjoyed it. I got out off of active duty October 8th, 2009. I was pretty good when I first got out. I enjoyed staying home with my kids. It was exciting because I'd missed out on a few things. And then I would say after about a month of being out, I just had a moment where I was like, is this who I am? Is this what I'm going to do forever? And I remember calling my husband and asking him to come home. And when he got home, I was just crying. I was like, I don't even know who I am anymore. My uniform was hanging up in the closet. And I said, I wore that for 7 years. And no matter where I was at, people could just look at me and know who I was, where I'd been, what I'd done. As fulfilling as being a mom and a wife is, something was definitely missing. I still wanted to do more. When you serve, you have a sense of pride, and you're doing something for your country. And when you put your uniform away, for me, there was a personal loss of that. And so I wanted to find out a way that I could still fulfill that and serve. And I knew the only way I could do that was to get more education. The idea of going to a traditional school with 4 more classes at a time was very intimidating for me. And I wasn't sure I could handle it because I was still going to have to, be a mom and a wife. So that's when I started looking into a place that had accelerated study, and that's when I found National.
Here at National University, I think our structure can very much meet the needs of our veterans looking for higher education to complete their degree. Because of the fact that we're online, people can log in at whatever time that they need to fit their schedule. For veterans where this type of schedule is key and can fit with their needs, then the National University module is perfect for them.
When I discovered National, the biggest selling point was that it was going to be at nighttime because my husband worked during the day. At first, it was a little overwhelming, but I loved being around people who were driven and who wanted to do something else with their lives. I was about 3/4 of the way through my bachelor's program when I had a professor talking about the difference between the levels of education and what kind of doors each level opens up for you. And the biggest thing that stood out for me was, she said, having your bachelor's degree is a great accomplishment, but when you get your master's, you can start impacting policy.
I met Ashley a couple of years ago. I was teaching a leadership class, and immediately I knew that she was special. I knew that what she had, she came through the door with. And my job as a professor was to accent that and to bring out even more of it.
I feel when you serve the military, they teach us how to fight and how to do all the things we need to do when we're out there, but nobody really teaches us what to do when we get home. And so I wanted to be able to kind of help cushion that a little bit for people, and in any way that I'm able to do that. I just wanted to help people because I know the sacrifices that come along with this life. And if I can make it just a little bit easier for them or a little bit better, that's really what I wanted to do. As I was doing my bachelor's, I volunteered at Veterans Stand Down. One weekend a year, San Diego High School shuts down all of their grounds and they open it up to the Veterans Village of San Diego. And they offer services to homeless veterans, everything from medical care, dental care. There's even lawyers there. And I thought it was just the best thing in the entire world. And so I've been going every year. And after about the 4th year, I met the CEO of Veterans Village, Miss Kim Mitchell. And she was like, well, what do you want to do? And I told her I was going to national. I said, honestly, I want to work at Veterans Village. And she was like, okay. So I went to the job board that day and I applied for every position I was even remotely qualified for 3 years. And I got a call from HR. She's like, there's another position that we haven't posted yet that is at the Cohen Clinic, and it's the case manager.
The Stephen A. Cohen Military Family Clinic here in San Diego provides outpatient mental health treatment for post 9/11 vets, their families, and active duty families. The role of case manager is almost a person who can do anything. From finding someone who walks in the door, a hotel for the night, to finding them food services or diapers or getting them into our clinic for mental care. Ashley's education absolutely helped her get this role, and I have absolutely seen it help her in this position. In fact, there's several times where we have come to her because of her particular master's, and she's been able to answer questions with confidence and clarity for us. So it hands down helps make our team even stronger.
Our graduates, when they become alumni of National University, they're going to not only go back to their families, they're going back to their communities, they're going back to organizations, and they're going to lead the change that's needed to have that major impact.
Deciding to go to college, to even start college, was a huge step for me, but it was something that I always wanted to do. And then the decision to further my education to get my master's, best decision I made, because it's what landed me here. This wouldn't be an option if I hadn't furthered my education. There's so much more to life after the military. I think you're really just getting started. When you have the service, the dedication to your country, you can definitely use that in the civilian world to make the world a better place for sure.